Hi, welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, my name is Georgia Jo and this is my channel where I talk all things books. So today I'm going to do the TBR jar chooses my reads, prompt jar chooses my reads for the month. So I've done this a few times, but I feel like this time round and going forwards I'm going to choose 5 books from here, and then I'll have one book which is a book club pick. So I'll have 6 reads every month, and each book that I choose is going to be in some kind of video throughout the month. And if I can't fit them into a video, then I'll just do one video towards the end of the month reading my chosen books, because I feel like I was doing these videos just for the sake of doing them and not actually reading any of the books. So yeah, I'm going to make sure that every book I choose is going to be in some kind of video, and then if I can't work it into a video, then I will do a whole video at the end reading whatever books are left from my monthly TBR. So with that being said, let's just get into it. I have got a new TBR jar. It's actually just an old candle. Very cute though. And I wrote down loads of different prompts. So yeah, let's just get into it. Also, this is my TBR. There is another shelf on the bottom that you can't see, but it's mainly Christmas books and like next ones in a series. Or I have a couple of, I've got the Mistborn trilogy down there and the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, but the rest are typically next ones in books, you know. So we're mainly going to be picking from these 3 shelves that you can see, and then if I can work some in there, then I will. So yeah, let's just get on with it. So the first prompt is this one, and it says a romance book. Okay, that's easy. So some prompts are easier, like romance. Some prompts are a little bit more, you know, I'm gonna have to look into books a little bit more. So yeah, at least we've got a nice easy one to start with. Also, I forgot to mention this stack of books here is my summer TBR. So if I can choose some of these, then that'll work out well, because then I'll get my summer TBR read as well. So we've got a romance book. I actually know what I'm going to choose for this, and it is actually in my summer TBR, and that is Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. So this is the 3rd book in the Skyland series. It is obviously a romance book, but it's a bit more contemporary romance, I think it comes under, where it's a bit more real life, you know. There's a really lovely romance in there, but there's also a lot going on around that people experience in real life. So yeah, this is the 3rd one in the series. It follows each book as one of the best friends, and then this is following Hendrix. I'm really looking forward to reading this. So definitely, without a doubt, gonna be my first book this month. So Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. And then the next prompt, we have prompt number 2. We'll go with this one. Newest book on my physical TBR. Okay, I know which ones. So I actually bought 3 books at the same time from a charity shop, and they are the newest ones on my TBR. And it is these 3 books. So we've got The Satsuma Complex by Bob Mortimer. We've got The Rebel Daughter by Miranda Malins. And then we've also got Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. So these are the 3 newest books. I have started The Satsuma Complex, but I started listening to it, and I think it's Bob Mortimer himself that's doing the audiobook, and it might be one of the worst audiobooks I've ever listened to, and it's kind of made me not want to carry on reading the rest of the book. But I'm definitely going to read it, but I'm not going to listen to the rest of it because it's really truly terrible. So I'm not really in the mood for that. I think I need a break from listening to that audiobook before I decide to pick it back up again. Prophet Song, I'm not really sure what it's about, but I have seen it in a lot of places, and it won the Booker Prize 2023. Or we've got The Rebel Daughter, which is like a fantasy book, I'm assuming, like a fantasy in the sense of like fighting and things like that, you know, more so than dragons, I assume. Anyway, maybe I'll go with this one. Oh, it is a series though, which kind of puts me off because I'm in the middle of a lot of series at the moment. So maybe we'll go for this one then. I'm going to go for Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. I don't really know much about this book, but yeah, let's go for this one. It fits the prompt. So this is one of the newest books on my physical TBR. Okay, third prompt we have got, oh, it's a long one. The last Kindle book I downloaded. Okay, I've not got my Kindle on me, but I have got my phone, so let me have a look. Okay, let's just go onto the Kindle app and I can see what was the last one I downloaded. Okay, the last one I downloaded was The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert. So that is the book I'm going to choose. I think it's a romance. I must have seen something on TikTok and that's what made me download it. I'm not really sure. But that was the last one I downloaded. So The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert. That is the third book on the TBR. And then the penultimate choice, we have got the last book on the shelves, on my shelves, excluding Christmas, or if it's a series that, you know, if it's the third book on the shelf and I've not read the second. So let's have a look. So that's going to be down at the bottom. Okay, so excluding the Christmas books, which are in the bottom corner, the Darker Shade of Magic series is actually the last like set of books before the Christmas ones. So I think I'm going to put the first one on my TBR. I have been wanting to read this for a while and I don't know why, I just never pick it up. I never gravitate towards it, but I definitely do want to get it read. So I'm going to put on A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I think this will be my first V.E. Schwab book, I think. So yeah, I think it'll be a good series to get into. And I am, like I say, really looking forward to reading it. I think I saw, was it Heather McLary speak about it recently, and she really enjoyed it. So that did kind of made me like remember that it was on my shelf. So yeah, I'm going to put that one on. So we've got A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. And then before we do the last prompt for the month, before I forget, my book club pick for this month was Carrie by Stephen King. I've actually never read a Stephen King book before, so this will be quite interesting. I have got a few on my shelf to read, but I just never picked them up. So yeah, this was actually one that my younger sister chose for us to read. So I did get it out at the library in case I don't enjoy it. But yeah, so Carrie by Stephen King, that is the book club book of this month. That will be on my monthly TBR. And then last but not least, the fifth prompt is going to be book I got in a Wordy and Wild box. So it's a book subscription that I get every month. So I have cancelled a couple where, or like paused it for the month because, so basically in the Wordy and Wild box you get a book that is typically a new release. I think it's above 3.5 stars on Goodreads, something like that. And then you also get like items that are nothing to do with the book, but they are bookish related, if that makes sense. But they're not related to the actual book, in case you don't enjoy it, which I think is something that I really love about this book box. So I've got like t-shirts, pajama pants, bracelet, a pop socket, loads of different stuff that I really love. The one previously, the June box I think it is, or the July box, is a picnic blanket. So I've actually postponed that one, or paused it for the month, because I've actually never been on a picnic, so I know it's not something I'm going to use, which I think is a really good thing about this book box, is you don't have to get things if you're never going to use them. Anyway, so I have actually had a few of these now. I've been getting them since you started it like a year ago, and I think I've only missed out on 2. So yeah, I do have a few books from them. The most recent one, the most recent 2 actually, was Destructively Mine by Krista, is it, and Becca Ritchie, which I really loved, and A Forgotten Book Club by, I think it's Kate Spade, I want to say. I really enjoyed that book as well. That one was really a shocking one. So I thought I'll put this on here because sometimes you don't gravitate towards books, but actually you could really enjoy them, like The Forgotten Book Club. So yeah, one from the Wordy and Wild box. Now I've just got to remember which ones I got in that box. Okay, these 2 I think are the only ones that I've got from the box that I've not read yet, I think. So we've got First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, which is a romance, and then also The Boyfriend Hypothesis by Susanna Nix, which is also a romance. So which one to choose? I do want to read both. I think this one, I really love the cover. and I know that a lot of people have read this and really enjoyed it. This one I love the cover, and I'm assuming that from the front cover she is a plus size girl, which I always love reading in romances. And I'm actually up to date, so my go-to series for plus size female leads is the I don't actually know what the series is called. Kingman series, maybe? Kingsman? It could be that, by oh my god, my mind's gone completely blank, and I absolutely love the series. I just had to check my bookcase to see who it was by. Amy Award. So the first book is The Pussy Next Door, and then you've got I think 3 other books after that, and I'm up to date with that series. So I'm due another, you know, to find another author that writes good plus size romances that's not necessarily all about the woman's weight, because that's like boring. I don't want to read about that. I just want to read about a fat woman being like happy and getting like the treatment that she deserves, you know. So I think maybe I'll put this one on, because I think this one I'm more likely to pick up on my own accord. So I'm going to put this one on to make me read it, you know. So we'll go with The Boyfriend Hypothesis by Susanna next, and that is the last one on my July TBR. I think actually we've got a really good mix here. So we've got 2 romances, or 3 romances with the Kindle book. I don't know what Prophet Song is. I'm assuming it's going to be like a general fiction. I'm not really sure. But then we've got A Dark Shade of Magic, which is a fantasy, and the Carrie by Stephen King, which is horror. So we've actually got a good mix there. I'm looking forward to reading these. So yeah, that is my TBR for this month. Also very colourful stack. So we'll get all these read. Like I say, if they're not in like a video within the month, they'll all be read in a video at the end of the month, so that at least I am getting them all read. Otherwise, what's the point in making these TBRs, you know, if I'm not actually gonna commit to reading them. So yeah, that is my July TBR done, and that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.